Good blessed Monday morning, March the 14th, 2022. It's about 8:58 a.m. I greet all human beings in the universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter if you're dark-skinned or light-skinned. It doesn't matter whether you like me or like anything I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have a right. I come to you all today to not only ask questions, but let you all see the questions that other people ask me, even my two young daughters. But first, I want to show y'all the beautiful nature of God. You notice they in twos, like Noah took them in the ark when they didn't believe him after he preached the same sermon for 120 years, telling people it was gonna rain. They didn't pay him no mind. Look how beautiful it is. You see, they in twos. Some of them in single. Let me see if I can, there go another single one. There go another single one. I hear something all of a sudden like gunshots. Maybe it's hunting season. Or somebody trying to frighten me out here at the lake. Whatever the case is, I don't fear nobody or nothing but God. I bear witness and open testimony that there's nothing worthy of worship nor praise but God. Look at that. You see how they flapping up? They in agreement. But what I want to show y'all now is some questions that I ask myself and people that I know in different states that worked it for various housing authorities in positions, people that worked as law enforcement officials in different positions. They want to know something that I want to know too. Let me see if we can get it going here. Now, I want to show y'all this letter again for a reason. Let me see if I can bring it in a little bit. I want to show y'all this letter again for a reason from the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority Executive Director, Paul Page. You remember a couple of days ago, I believe it was on the 12th, it was hand delivered to me by a Charleston, Missouri police officer by the name of Mark Higgins. Mark Higgins was a police officer down here in Charleston, Missouri once upon a time, and he went to East Prairie, Missouri, about 7 or 10 miles away from here, and ran for chief of police and won. And then re-election, his dispatcher beat him out. He went back from chief to officer down here in Charleston, Missouri. But you see this letter, as I told you before, it wasn't sealed when Officer Higgins brought it to me. I want to just show y'all something in 1 minute here. Let me get this envelope intact. Now, what people that work for the housing authority and people that was law enforcement officials and some that still law enforcement officials that's not corrupt, That's not corrupt now. You see, that's not corrupt. They trying to wonder. Now, we looking at this letter where it says is from Paul Page, the executive director of the Housing Authority. It's a letter that's banning and barring me from coming into the Housing Authority projects property, or the Housing Authority property in Charleston, Missouri. And his sole reason is that it's me videoing and talking about some people in the Housing Authority and some tenants in the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority. He said it has caused concern for the safety and peaceful enjoyment of said employees and tenants. Now, remember, this is a ban notice not stamped by any law enforcement official, not stamped by any judge, but this letter should have came to me by certified mail to my house or my post office for me to sign to let Paul Page know I received this letter. That it has nothing to do legally, period. It has nothing to do with the courts. It has nothing to do with law enforcement officials. It has something to do with Paul Page not liking the fact that I complained on numerous occasions. I documented it with YouTube videos to show the filth, the nastiness, the disrespect of some tenants that live in the back of me, and I live in a house in my bushes, the trash that they throw out constantly, and my videos show different dates. The Housing Authority maintenance people, they have came out there numerous times, have to clean up behind these people that they sent moved by me when they project house burnt down November the 5th, 2021. They was filthy down there. 3 fires was down there. A truck, a car, and then the apartment that they was living in the Housing Authority was destroyed. But why is the police getting involved in this? Why did that one particular police that live in East Prairie, Missouri, who white and black people had numerous complaints about him and his crew when he was the chief of police down in East Prairie, Missouri for a short period of time, when his dispatcher beat him out? That ought to tell you something. A female dispatcher beat him out and sent him and his captain right back down here to Charleston, Missouri, to come from chief and captain to plain police officers here in Charleston, Missouri. Hell, you can be a serial murderer and come down here to be a Charleston, Missouri Police Department. I'm going to leave that alone. But you see, I tried to slack up, but I'm trying to still figure out, just like everybody else, why did this police officer bring me this here letter that wasn't sealed? And he said one of his code workers that was on another shift said it was laying around. Then he said that they said Paul Page told them to give it to me. You don't work for Paul Page. You don't work for the Housing Authority. You work for the city of Charleston, Missouri. That's what you work for. Maybe that's why you're not chief of police down there in East Prairie now and back to a plain officer. You see, it upsets me when I'm going up against certain people, in this case, some white people, a white individual that's living in this project just last night had a big fire that my cameras happened to see burning in the back of my house. Not even 30 feet, 20 feet away from my bushes. You can see some of the fire debris blowing away from where the fire is at on their back porch. The day before, on the 12th of March 2022, they had the same type of fire burning on the front of their house. But this individual, if you do a background check on him, he's on 5-year probation for having a gun. And he got the probation in 2020. This is 2022. That's saying he at least on 3 more years. And if you do some more research, you might even find out that he done caught another case, him and somebody else concerning the gun. You see how my ducks, you see how they going in twos? You see what I'm saying? They waiting for an invasion. They waiting for my attackers. You see what I'm saying? They waiting for my attackers to try to come. Now you explain to me, how did this letter become anywhere on the legal side where a police or a sheriff or a prosecuting attorney or a judge had anything to do with this letter? In the letter it said what he'll do if I come on their property again. But see, I wasn't coming on their property to cause any trouble. I was getting the trash up that these filthy white people that live across from me in the projects, that the housing authority wouldn't get up until I sent YouTube videos to St. Louis, Missouri, to HUD. Because I complained to this same individual, Paul Page. Now, he to me, and to other people, and to my daughters, they in threes now, because you know why? Because the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But let me tell you, to me, it's like Paul Page trying to intimidate me and sending this rejected chief of police from East Prairie that came back down here to Charleston, Missouri as a police officer like he started, sent him to my house to intimidate me. Look at him on the video and see who looked like they was intimidated. Not me, not my daughters. It seemed like he was intimidated because he had no damn reason bringing me this letter. He didn't have no authority to bring me this letter. You see what I'm saying? Because there's nothing legal about this letter, nothing at all. Now, I know a lot of people in Charleston, Missouri watch my videos. When a guy stole on me, a lot of y'all laughed and talked police too. You see what I'm saying? When they arrested me for harassment, which I shouldn't have been arrested because I'm doing the same thing I'm doing now, videoing, y'all laughed. They tried to take my 2 daughters when they was 10 and 11. Had the Department of Children and Family Service, the police department, all of them come to my house trying to take my daughters while they temporarily had me locked up for videoing. You see what I'm saying? For videoing now, what I'm doing now. You know, Paul Page don't like the wording that I'm saying on these videos. You know why he don't like it? Because I'm a black man. He's a racist. You see what I'm saying? I'm a black man that don't sell out like some of these other black individuals that call themselves leaders down here. You see what I'm saying? I'm a black man that ain't afraid to be in their jails. I'm a black man that ain't afraid to say what I say and mean what I say. I'm a black man that ain't gonna be intimidated, y'all. Look at that. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Y'all can come on down, ducks. Y'all welcome. Some people say I'm racist. They probably see me videoing y'all and they say, what you do videoing them for? They white. Because I'm not a racist. I'm a realist. And all you leaders in Charleston, Missouri, I want to see what your input is on this here. Peace be still.